What do liar for hire disability insurance doctors do during a peer review? One of the weapons in the disability carrier's arsenal is the liar for hire disability insurance doctor, who will be asked to evaluate your case and your medical records. So what does that liar for hire physician do during a peer review? How can you fight the opinion of the liar for hire, which is used to justify a claims denial? You're going to learn more in this video about the peer review process. You can be assured that at some point in the life of your disability claim, the disability carrier is going to ask what I call a liar for hire physician to review your medical records and answer questions the adjuster has about your case. It's called a peer review, but more often than not, it's nothing more than a way for the carrier to create and justify a claims denial. Why does the carrier want a peer review? There are many reasons why a disability carrier might want your medical records reviewed by their medical peer reviewer. And these can include the following questions. What is your diagnosis? What's the objective basis of the diagnosis? What are your restrictions and limitations, notwithstanding, of course, what your doctor has had to say about those restrictions and limitations? What's the objective basis for any restrictions and limitations? Whether your subjective complaints, such as pain, are consistent with the diagnostic studies, whether your treatment plan is appropriate and designed to return you to work, whether you're making adequate medical progress in your recovery, when a return to work can be expected so that they no longer have to pay you your disability benefits. What does a consulting physician do during a peer review? How can a doctor who's never met you or examined you answer questions about you? What does a consulting liar for hire physician do? Well, unfortunately, let's start out with the premise that there's no treating physician rule in a disability insurance claim that requires the carrier to accept what your physician has to say about you, your disability, and your restrictions. As a result, there's this huge industry of medical peer review companies that have sprung up like weeds. Check out companies like MES, who are owned by former insurance company medical directors. Companies like MES advertise in medical journals for physicians to do paper reviews of medical records as a way to supplement their income. Disability insurance companies also have physician consultants who are directly employed by the disability insurance carrier. What are the steps involved in the peer review process? Well, first, the adjuster or case nurse will determine that a peer review is appropriate because you've been paying your benefits too long. The adjuster will either select an in-house peer review provider or request an assignment to an external peer review provider. I call them an out-house peer review provider. The adjuster or the case nurse will write out a list of questions to be answered, and of course they're tailored to get the answer that they want. The case nurse will summarize your medical records, your activity of daily living statements, and any surveillance. And of course that summary is favorable to the carrier and cherry picks the records. Then they're going to provide that consultant with a copy of your medical records, maybe. The adjuster or the case nurse manager may request that the peer review provider contact your doctors and speak with them directly about the adjuster's questions and any disagreement there might be between the peer review provider and your physician's opinions. Now, once that's done, the peer review provider is to write a report that summarizes your medical conditions and answers the adjuster's questions. And that peer review report will become a part of your claim file. The adjuster will consider the report in deciding whether or not to pay or deny your benefits. And if the policy that you have has a discretionary standard of review, the disability insurance adjuster has the right to accept that peer review report over the report of your treating physicians. That's the get out of jail free card. So the question is the peer review provider fair and impartial? Well, the ERISA statute says that insurance companies should evaluate claims in a manner designed to ensure the independence and impartiality of other persons involved in making the decision. I wish I could tell you that the peer review providers are independent and impartial. That's not the case. The reality is that the insurance company compensates their employees, including peer review providers, based on claims denials. Peer review providers are well paid, and they want to get that work so they can continue to supplement their income. So rarely does a peer review provider bite the hand that feeds them. How can I fight back? Well, many claims denials are based on those unfavorable peer review opinions. If your claim has been denied or your benefits have been terminated, you have the right to appeal, but you'll only have 180 days in which to file an appeal in an ERISA disability case. That appeal is the trial of your case. And the best way to fight back is to hire a disability attorney such as myself, who's going to get a copy of the carrier file, analyze that unfavorable peer review report, take the statement of your physician, get a functional capacity evaluation, or even have your own independent medical evaluation. Now, my appeals are 35 to 65 pages long, and they explain the medical and legal reasons why your claim should be paid. Now, many of the peer review providers are seen in case after case. I've got a treasure trove of information regarding peer review doctors that I include in every appeal as I attack the peer review provider's credibility, conclusions, and bias. You owe it to yourself and your family to appeal a wrongful denial or termination of your claim. Remember, you only have 180 days in which to file that appeal. Don't delay, and don't let the carrier rob you of your peace of mind. Call today at 727-894-3188 for a complimentary consultation.